The end of World War II also marked the end of the Western Defense Command, which was soon after deactivated. The new tenet of Building 38 would be the Sixth Army, which had blazed a combat trail through the Pacific during the final days of World War II.
Sixth Army troops landed on Luzon in the Lingayen Gulf.
Created to fight the war in the Pacific, Sixth Army was quite literally born of war. In peace, its officers served here on the first floor. From Building 38, they commanded one-third of the country's ground defenses in 8 western states.
This wall used to be covered with all the pictures of the previous CGs, and that was a history lesson in itself because there have been some very famous people who have commanded Sixth Army.
General William Harrison, who came to command Sixth Army in 1989, was proud to follow in a long line of famous generals who once commanded Sixth Army, including World War II heroes Joseph Vinegar Joe Stilwell and Mark Clark. It wasn't long after the Sixth Army came to Building 38 that war broke out on the Korean Peninsula. The Sixth Army was charged with preparing troops for combat, and the Presidio once again began dispatching and receiving an endless stream of troops. Thousands of American soldiers were taken prisoner in Korea. One of the most notable was a 2-star general from Berkeley, William Dean. General Dean was captured early in the war, and for more than a year, his family did not know if he was alive or dead.
This is the first POW list.
His daughter, June Williams, remembers the day the long-awaited POW list was released by North Korea.
It was very exciting to know that at least he's alive. And then I started writing letters every day, probably not much more than a page, and I thought maybe they'll get to him, maybe they won't. And he said they were a godsend.
After the war ended in 1953, the POWs arrived home through the Golden Gate on a fleet of transport ships. General Dean was reunited with his family at Travis Air Force Base.
Then they landed, and Dad didn't get off right away. Mother went up, and I could just see his arms come down, reach up and grab her, pull her up. It was wonderful.
General Dean returned to the U.S. a hero. He was rewarded with his final assignment as Deputy Commanding General of the Sixth Army. He served in the offices of Building 38 until his retirement a year later.